Well, howdy, 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 nearly senior citizen here, greetings boys and girls, and I am in a, well, my brain is not working well this morning. I woke up at 5:15, actually a little bit before 5:15. I woke up about 5 a.m. and then fell back asleep until a little after 6, and now it's 7 o'clock, and I am so tired I can't wake up, even on top of my fibro can't wake up, and so it's a wonderful day. It's a wonderful day. It's after 7 a.m., which means I'm going to be late because it's going to be 7:30 by the time I'm done, 8 o'clock by the time I'm done editing, 8:30 by the time it's done rendering, close to 9 o'clock by the time it's done being uploaded and processed. It's 2 hours before my live time, and I'm in trouble. So yay! Plus, on top of that, I have not watched the announcement of Avi leaving Pentatonics. I have not watched that video. I do not know what the end result is. I do not know if PTX is still going to be around. I do not know. I have refused to watch the video because if I don't watch it, then this actually surprised me before. So if I don't watch it, then it won't happen and nothing bad will happen and everything will be okay. Even though I know that's not true. And what surprised me just then and kind of made me smile even through that is when I was getting these things ready, just before I started recording, I actually, and I'm finding it difficult now, I started to cry. Because, yeah, wow, come on. They were a big part of my my recovery from the grief of the death of my wife. I mean, they were a major part of my reaction channel in the beginning. I reacted to a huge amount of pentatonics, and yeah, it's because of that, I feel a huge emotional connection to them, and darn it, because of that, I'm reacting poorly, as you can see. So I haven't watched the video. I'm not ready yet. I mean, it's such a simple, small thing, but it's tied in and wrapped around with the grief of my death, the grief over the death of my wife and recovery from that. It's just inexplicably intermixed with right now my being, my recovery, my everything. And so it's really a shock. It's a blow to the root, the trunk of the tree that I've used to grow everything from. And so it's just a shocker, and it's really affecting me, as you can see. My sincere apologies. Now my nose is running, so I got to stick my fingers in my nose, dry out my nostrils. I am physically doing, you can see I'm still using my hands. I found a little bit of RSO still. I used that last night. My hands are better than they were last night when I went to bed, I'll tell you that. They're not wonderful. This hand, especially right through here, feels, this joint especially, it just really feels like I've been smacked with a ball-peen hammer. Just bam, right there. That one's painful to use, but I can still do it. This one is just general ouch. I mean, this hand is always going to go first on the pain market. Even when I'm like methadoned and THC'd up, this hand does not do well. It's the paralyzed, my semi-paralysis is most on this arm. I'm at 80% use, 20% paralysis, and it's hurt and doesn't feel good all the time because of that. So right now, with the my blood serum level of THC dipping down, more and more it's feeling like smacked with a hammer instead of just generalized pain. So this is starting to go because of that especially right through there. I don't know what it is. Both hands, even before I got the semi-paralysis, because of the abrasion of my radial nerves in my arms here, both hands, about 12 years ago, these joints right here on my middle finger, if my finger even moved to the side like that, it would just burn all the way up my arm. Both hands. And so I don't know what caused that. But now that's the joint right through here on this hand that's really going. So just thought I'd mention. I took a shower last night before I went to bed, and then after I take a shower, I have to stay awake long enough, because if I go to bed with wet hair, I'm going to wake up with just a total fright wig. My hair has a mind of its own, and it's rarely controllable. So I have to make sure it's dry before I go to bed, or I just have to take another shower when I wake up to get it under control. So it was really late. And I have something in both of my eyes. I don't know what it is. It's like dust or something. But it's been in both eyes ever since I woke up, and I can't clear, and it's irritating. So I don't know what it's doing, and I apologize. I'm just blinking like crazy because my eyes hurt. I don't know what's in them. Not onions or anything like that. I know that. There's no onions in my eyes. No tiny little onions just like this. Little miniature nano onions in my eyes. Yeah, that would be interesting. I may have to put that into an odd cyberpunk novel now, because I can just see nano onions as an attack, and I'm gonna have to deal with that now. Thumbs up. I have yet to do my fiction in my blog. My apologies. It's all still up here in my head. Big problems with trying to write is because it's difficult to concentrate, because it gives me a headache and it makes me tired. It's difficult to try and concentrate enough to write. And then even when I do so, my hands have been hurting so much, it's hard to type. I'm a two-finger typer. I type with this finger on this hand, this finger on this hand, and I alternate thumbs on the space bar. That's not easy to do when my hands are hurting like this, especially since this is the hand with the joint that's just killing me down here. So yay. Oh gosh, I was playing what the heck was I playing last night? I was playing a video game and I was enjoying it. I gotta take a look on my Steam. It might be a Steam game I was playing for a while. I can't even remember what it was, but it was entertaining. Oh yeah. A kind commenter went and gifted me the game My Summer Car. Now that's an interesting and odd game, My Summer Car. It's ostensibly you're supposed to put a car together, and you're supposed to build the car. Your parents have left you in the home, they've gone somewhere, and you've got a car that you need to build. The parts are scattered everywhere. The thing is, that's not really what the game is about. There's survival stuff on top of that. You have to eat, you have to drink, you have to take a shower, you have to go and urinate, you have to take care of all of these bodily functions. On top of that, if you're going to eat, you need to go into town and buy food. So you need to drive there. Luckily, there are vehicles. But driving is incredibly complex. Everything is incredibly complex. It's easy to die. It's not really a build a car game. It's more of a, from what I can see, survival explore game with by the way, you need to build the car back at your house, but it's not really the main focus of the game. And so last night, when I tried it out, it was like, well, okay, if this isn't really a build the car game, then screw it. What is it? And so I just said, screw that, just went exploring. And so the game irritated me because if it's not a build the car game and it's a survival game, then you'd better have the survival explorer stuff open. And so I just went out and exploring on a motorboat, went across this great big lake, went traveling, found a bunch of houses. Houses aren't open. Okay, if you're not an actual build a car game and you're a survival game and you an exploration game, then you better have exploration open. So right now it's a survival game with not a whole lot of extra stuff on top of that. So yeah, I'm kind of irate about it while trying to play it. It irritates me deeply. I'm gonna try and play it, so we'll see how it runs. On top of that though, what I do have, and what I do every single day, is I have opened up 24 hours worth of comments on the, if you open up the Creator Studio on your, if you have a YouTube account, and if you're watching YouTube videos, bet you do, you have a Creator Studio. In your Creator Studio is a comments page. On that, you click it open, you get every single comment given to you in chronological order, as long as you keep hitting show more. I opened it up for 24 hours because I'm going to thank 20 to 25 of you kind commenters. I like to show my appreciation for your interacting with me. For having interacted with me. There we go, English for the win. So it's a range of 20 to 25 people because a range I forget. So if I mispronounce your name, no disrespect is intended. I do my best, and I'm very sorry. I am not reading the comments now. I'm going to read the comments afterward, but for right now, I'm just thanking you for having left the comment. Whether you're saying you're a wonderful person, whether you're saying you should burn in hell, or whether you're saying you are definitely a human being, all of these things are equal right now. I am thanking you for having left a comment, no matter what the comment is. So thumbs up on that. Thank you very, very much. And if you'd like a shout out, just let me know, and I will, if I catch it, give you that shout out. Tyler Sawson asks for a shout out today. Hello Tyler, how you doing? Glad to meet you. Glad to have you here. Thank you very, very much. I'll gladly give anyone a shout out and say, hey, glad that you're alive, because I am glad that you're alive. So thumbs up. And then I'm Too Wicked, but spelled with T-O instead of T-O-O. Instead of saying quantifiably, I'm too wicked, you're saying I'm too wicked as a verb. Wicked is now a verb. Interesting. I like that. I'm too wicked. Well, what are you going to wicked today? And then Ayabi Byrne, thank you very, very much. Roka Bibabi, I hope I'm close. If not, I try. No disrespect is intended. Aaron Frisk, thank you very, very much. Tracy McGill, thank you. And Claude5190, thank you very, very much. Breaker Games, thank you. Greatly appreciated. Always good to see you in the comments. Austin Emerson, thank you very, very much. And then Evan McFleggan, thank you. Always good to see you in comments. So, thank you very, very much. And then there's the Horror Files, thank you very much. Greatly appreciate. Monkey D. Luffy, thank you very much. And Cass Cody, thank you very, very much. With Cobra Glaciator, who is having trouble watching my One Piece pirate thing. I guess it's, oh no, not that one. He's talking about Periphery, sorry. The Periphery video is blocked in the United States, but it's not supposed to be, and yet it is. So I am so sorry. It's blocked in 30 countries. The USA is not one of those. It shouldn't be blocked, and the fact that it is very irritating. I'm very, very sorry. Definitely not your fault. You're a victim. Ever Players, thank you very, very much. And Mikey B, thank you. Greatly appreciated. And Love Z, no, Xiumin, thank you very, very much. And Louis Pepe, thank you very, very much. Greatly appreciated. Laxus Dreyer, thank you. Greatly appreciated. I know I say roughly the same thing. It's hard to say thank you. It's greatly appreciated. And make it different 25 times. So thank you very much. Sean Wattsmore, thank you very, very much. Then we have Master Gamer 4300273. Thank you very much. And Mika Mach 5, son of a gun. Thank you very, very much. Greatly appreciated. Brandon Brown, thank you for the comments. And Toby Curlis, thank you very, very much. Greatly appreciation. And then last but not least, GN Prim 3. I would guess it's supposed to be like crime, but the 3 is taking over for the E. So thank you all very, very much. Greatly, greatly appreciated. You get me out of my head into the real world, and that is awesome. Now what I want to do real quick is also go through and greet people in their home languages, because I love doing this part. I wish I could greet everybody on the planet in their home language, but I don't know 3,000 languages. I barely know one. But if you would like to hear a greeting in your home language, if you could throw it in down in the comments, that would be awesome. I'll definitely add in. So, thumbs up. Bom dia, dia dit, dia guet, guten tag, annyeonghaseyo, buenos dias, buona demanata, ohayo, labrit, labas ritas, kamusta, buongiorno, terra homakost, yoragel, barilus, ni hao, kalimera, bonjour, boker tov, dzień dobry, or less formally, cześć, labdien, dobre utro, mesa olheli, dobre rano, bareda, privyet, merhaba, and of course go forth and have the crack. Good food, good drink with good friends. Doesn't necessarily mean an alcoholic beverage, doesn't necessarily mean crack cocaine, doesn't necessarily mean a prostitute spreading her thighs for you. The crack, good food, good drink, good friends. Definitely a thumbs up. The one thing I do want to say about my military time today is one of the first places I was at, Hurlburt Field, Florida. It's on the Panhandle. It's on the Eglin Air Force Base campus. Now, I don't know if it still is. I was there in 1982. I haven't done any studying on Hurlburt Field. Back in the Carter days, when they tried to rescue people from the Iran embassy, it was out of Hurlburt Field that they had the unfortunate failed rescue attempt where helicopters crashed and people died. It was out of Hurlburt Field. It was actually a good place. It was a terrible thing that happened. But Hurlburt Field was pretty cool. Bad thing about that is I was really big on my alcoholism there. Of course, the night before we had a big inspection that we didn't know about, surprise inspection, I trashed my room because I was so drunk. When it was time to go to bed, I was just pissed off and I threw everything all over the room. And then the next day, had to get to work real quick. Yeah, first sergeant came through and inspected. He wasn't thrilled. I had to go down and beg and say, I'm sorry, I'll never do this again. And I was really, really good and kept my room nice after that. But of course, after you trash the place, that's when the big boys come in for the inspection. I had a terrible hangover that whole day. I was throwing up in the trash cans at work. Thumbs up. Oh man, 18 minutes and change. Well, if you could open up the links down below there, that would be awesome. I've got a whole bunch of links down there. Everything from Twitter, Facebook, Google+, GoFundMe. Thank you all so much to everybody who's donated to my GoFundMe. You're helping to keep me alive. I'm still minus. If you can help, that would be awesome. Thank you so much to you who have. You're helping me incredible. Thank you to all my Patreon.com patrons. You're all beautiful, wonderful people, and each of you are helping to save my life. Thank you so much. Aside from the people that have been declined, and the one or two that were actually fraud. So, not so much thank you for those. But, if you could toss me a like, that would be awesome. Greatly appreciated. I do appreciate all the positive validation for my existence that I can get. We all do. And if you could subscribe to the channel, that too would be awesome. Only if you're really down for it, though. Of course, you know, pity subscriptions, they help this bottle cap. Pity subscriptions help this bottle cap, but they don't help me and they don't help you, so hey. But if you are done with it, hope to keep you as a subscriber for, well, forever and ever and ever. Hey, wrapped in plastic, down in the basement, with all the rest of them in the dark. Ooh. Hopefully that one's scary and creepy and not just stupid and dumb. Well, but hey, I'm at 19 minutes and 41 seconds. I don't know where the time goes, but you take care. Have a great day today. I've got a reaction video coming up. I've got a game video coming up. Hopefully I'm going to be streaming tonight, so thumbs up. So you take care. I will see you on the flip side, and that, my friend, is a very good thing.